Hi, my name is Rosalie Desmond and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia. Today I'm going to show you my project for this month's Christmas Crafting Challenge. This month the theme is Sparkle and Shine. So what you need to do is you need to add some sparkle and shine to whatever Christmas crafting you're desiring to do this month. For me, I have done a corner card using Night of Navy and silver. As you can see, I've used some silver foil paper and cut it out and done some silver heat embossing. I love this style card because it simply folds up and can go in a regular size envelope. Goes down quite flat, and if people are wanting to display it, it sits nicely on the desk. And in Australia, it's summer during Christmas and we often have the doors open so it can get quite windy, but this one isn't going anywhere, it's not going to blow over, so I really like that. Anyway, I'll get to it and show you what to do. So the first thing that we need is we need a piece of cardstock. You can actually do this kind of card in varying sizes. I've decided to do 8 inches by 8 inches. And then all I need to do is use my trimmer, grab my scoring blade. And the scoring blade is the lighter colour, not the darker colour. The darker colour will cut. And all I need to do is score at the halfway point. So if my cardstock is 8 inches square, then I'm scoring at 4 inches. So I'll score that way, turn 90 degrees and score at 4 inches again. Now the only other thing I need to do with my scoring tool is I just need to score from the corner point here to the corner point here of one of my little squares. So to do this, I need to actually look directly above it. So my head may get in the way. I'll apologise if it does. And I'm just lining up the corner over here. And now I can pop my trimmer away. So from there, I just need to grab my scissors. Now if you can see here, my corner score is here, so I'm actually going to make a cut over the other side. I want to just stay away from that corner to make the only cut. And I just go straight down to the centre. Pretty simple. Now I'm done with my scissors. I'll grab my bone folder. I'm just going to strengthen those score lines because we want our card to be able to fold quite easily. I'm going to fold it back the other way because I like to have it nice and crisp. Now all I do is I just put 2 of these pieces together and add some adhesive, and that will form my corner. Now I use Tombow, but you can use whatever adhesive that you like. Probably sticky strip or tear and tape would probably be better because you want the card to actually move a little bit. So if you just use regular snail, you might find that over time it might come loose, which is why I like Tombow. So that's our card base. Now the next pieces we need 3 pieces of foil paper, and it's 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then I've used 3 pieces of Night of Navy, which is 3 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And then I have 3 pieces of Whisper White, which is 3 inches by 3 inches. And I've pre-cut those to save us some time. And as you can see, I've actually used the foil to cut out for one of the other cards that I've already done. So the dies that I'm using are the Starlight Thinlit dies, and they match the Star of Light stamp set, which is the stamp set I'm using for this project. The 2 pieces that I used is this little one here and this star one here. So I'm just going to pop off camera and I'm going to cut out one of these and one of these, and I'm going to make sure that I pop it in the center here so I can still use my silver paper to layer up. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've just run these through the Big Shot. I'm just going to pull this out, pop it to one side. With this other one, I'm just going to grab my die brush just to help poke out the little bits nice and quickly. I'm going to be doing some heat embossing. So during the heat embossing, I will block the sound out because you don't need to hear all that. So I'm going to work on my first page, or the front of my card, which I've got Star of Wonder, Star of Night, and my little star die. So I just ink this up with some Versamark. Make sure I don't have it upside down. Using my grid paper, I'm lining it up because I want it relatively straight. Popping it straight down, holding it for a bit, straight up. I'm now grabbing my silver embossing powder. Sprinkle some where my stamp is. And give it a bit of a flick. I'm going to go over it again. Flick the back of it again. I'm just going to heat emboss that. And that's done. As you can see, it changed and embossed. Nice and easy. Just adding a little bit of Tombow. Could also use adhesive sheets, fine tip glue. Some people like to use spray adhesive. Personally, I find it very messy, so I don't like spray adhesive, but other people do. We all craft slightly differently and like to use different tools, and that is all fine. Because I'm using Tombow, once I've placed it down, I don't move it at all. I just pat it down, and that bit's done. And I'm going to move on to my next piece, which I've used the sentiment Guide Us to the Perfect Light and place some stars around and put a navy star in the center. So I'm going to start with the navy star and I'm going to work around from there. You might decide to do it another way, and that's fine as well. Almost dropped it. Popping the sentiment down. You might decide to pop it in different places, and that's fine as well. It's what it makes your own creation. Grabbing the stars, and I'm just really just randomly putting them around. Grabbing my embossing powder again. The Versamark just leaves a very, very light gluey substance on the paper. So if you catch it in the light, you can see it, but it's not particularly obvious. When I flick it, I just flick the back of the card, which tends to get off a lot of excess. And then I'll heat emboss. And that's done. I just grab my star. I'm going to use my Tombow again. I always pop the lid, usually try to pop the lid straight back on my Tombow, because otherwise it can dry out and then you have trouble getting more glue out later. I just wanted to off center this. And our second piece is done. The third one, I've just grabbed this massive stars. I'm inking it up in the Night of Navy, and pretty much I'm going off the edge because I just want a touch of it, because this is the piece that I want to be able to write who it's to and who it's from. And then I've got a Merry Christmas stamp, which is also from the Star of Light stamp set. Popping that down, straight up. Now I know there's a few people around that seem to struggle with heat embossing. I think where they go wrong is sometimes they haven't let it heat for quite long enough, and not all of it has that didn't work at all. Try that again. Okay, made a mess of that one by not pushing it down properly. Should have just flipped it over. Wouldn't have made any difference. Just putting my stars back in again. And I'm going to Versamark this up properly this time. That's much better. Now, what was I saying? I was saying that some people struggle. And I think what it is the embossing powder has almost changed, and they just stop probably about 10 seconds too early. And then, because if this hasn't heat set, then it can rub off. So if you've left it just a little bit too soon, you can lose your whole sentiment. And you can also overheat them, so it's a matter of watching the change. And once you see the change, that's when you stop. So my card is pretty much done now. All I need to do is glue my pieces. I like Tombow because I have a chance to have a little bit of wriggle room, because I never put anything down straight the first time. I'll pop this on the front. And I'm done. So this is the challenge that goes from the 25th of May to the 24th of June 2018. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.